Greetings. In this video, I'm discussing the full moon in fiery Aries on October the 17th, 2024. This full moon could really break up and test all kinds of relationships. Very quickly, the reason why full moons in general will test relationships. The strong ones get stronger, the weak ones fall apart or start to show where the work needs to be happening. That's because the full moon means the sun is opposite the moon once a month. The sun can represent the individual in opposition or confrontation to the moon that can represent the public or others. And the full moon can really bring anything that's been hidden, because the full moon, everything is very bright. Everything comes to light. So anything that's been in the shadows, anything that's been hidden, any kind of secrets, especially with personal relationships, professional relationships, could be revealed. But this full moon is extremely charged because, first of all, the moon is in Aries. Aries is fiery, impatient, courageous, but Aries is ruled by Mars. And Mars, the warrior planet, the aggressive planet in mythology, Mars is it's at 22 Cancer, almost 23 Cancer. I don't want to get too much into the jargon, but the moon at 24 Aries is forming a 90-degree angle to the Mars at almost 23 Cancer. The sun, opposite the moon, the sun at 24 Libra is also forming a 90-degree angle to the Mars. So there's all this tension with Mars that could trigger a lot of arguments, blow-ups. The positive, you could be releasing a lot of toxic patterns. You could, release a lot of underlying resentments. And the Mars is also opposite Pluto. And Mars-Pluto can be these intense power struggles. So for people who know a little astrology, this is all really fascinating. I hope I don't confuse the ones who just enjoy listening to astrology, because this full moon is also squaring Mars on one side and squaring Pluto on the other. All that means is the sun and the moon and the Mars and the Pluto are all at 90-degree angles to one another. They're all at cross purposes with one another. And it creates a tremendous drive and tension, really, that could really trigger intense power struggles in relationships. So that's the bad news. The good news is that the Mars is forming a grand trine, the best flow of energies. So the Mars at almost 23 Cancer is trining the best flow of energy to visionary, altruistic, spiritual Neptune at 27 Pisces. Cancer, Pisces, water signs, compatible. And then Venus, the planet of diplomacy, love, mediation, is at the end of Scorpio, a water sign. So the full moon is going to intensify struggles with relationships, but with the potential of resolutions and breakthroughs. The key here is to look to where is Mars falling in your chart. And also, are you born within a day or so of October the 17th? But before I break those details down, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find direct links to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer. All right. If you're born October, roughly, got to look at your individual horoscope, but roughly October the 16th, especially the 17th, the 18th, maybe the 19th, that means I do a chart for where all the planets are on your birthday. It's called the solar return chart. It's like the main chart that describes all the potential trends for a lifetime. The solar return chart is just focusing it for those 12 months. So if your birthday is within a day or so of this October the 17th Aries full moon, it is going to really describe your upcoming year. It could, on one hand, it's going to be very event-oriented, a lot of tensions and stresses, but with a real possibilities for breakthroughs and resolutions. That moon in Aries, remember, Aries is ruled by Mars. The sun is in Libra. Libra is ruled by benefic Venus, and the Mars and the Venus are trining or in harmony. So much resentments, secrets, tensions that's been holding you back in all types of important relationships could be released. So some people, this is when it all hits the fan and everything blows up. And if you give up and walk away because your ego is too much hurt, you're done. But there's so much possibilities to have real resolutions and breakthroughs in all kinds of business and personal relationships. And if you're born around October the 17th, it's really going to be a major theme for you individually. Now, I said you got the grand trine, that potential for resolution and that connects to Mars, with the full moon creating this grand cross and to the Mars. So try not to get too confused with all of that. But basically, this is a horoscope where there's so much focus on Mars in the sign of Cancer, can create a lot of ego disputes and fighting and tensions, but there's such an opportunity for healing and coming together and diplomacy and mediation because of the Mars in harmony with Venus. Now, so let me look at the Mars, because that is going to be a sensitive area of the chart. Now, if you have a professional astrology reading, the astrologer could look at all these different points, and because everybody is going to experience this in their own unique way. But one of the main themes for everybody, where that potential for release, kind of like anger, resentment, release, and healing, is connected with the Mars. The Mars is in the sign of Cancer. So, for Aries, or if you have it, Aries rising, Mars is in Cancer. Cancer is 4 signs past Aries. So where this breakthrough energies, these stressful, dynamic, but potentially healing 4th house, that with the Mars to the 4th house, home and family. Especially could be around your living situation, property. Taurus, it's in the 3rd. The 3rd, personally, can be dealing with siblings, but the 3rd has a lot to do with learning and classes and selling. It's a sector of communications and ideas. You might be being compelled to make some really sudden, important decisions. Gemini, that Mars is in your second house of your personal income. You could be having a lot of ego battles over monies, whether it's personal or professional. But if you don't give up, you can come to a good compromise. And actually that Mars can stimulate you to really even increase your income. And if you are a Cancer or a Cancer rising, it's putting a real focus on your identity, that first house of visibility. That could be where you're demanding to be free and independent and take the lead, or might be realizing it's now time, you've got to take the big risk and do your own thing. Leo rising, the Cancer, Mars in Cancer is in the 12th house or the sign prior to Leo. That could trigger a lot of spiritual practices, especially if you're lost, you're depressed, you're feeling out of control. And a positive could just get really involved with meditation and spiritual practices. But for most of you, that for Leo rising could be that you could focus all that driven Mars energy to working and developing projects for the near future. So this could be a lot of studying, researching, and development. Virgo rising, it's in your 11th of friendships, associates, group activities, teamwork, lots of teamwork that can be very productive. But the 11th also represents your long-range goals and aspirations. And you may be feeling like you're hitting a wall, and then you keep pushing through, and you find an outlet, and you can really start feeling like you're really achieving your goals, your important goals in life. Libra, Cancer, Mars in Cancer, is 10 signs past Libra. The 10th sector in astrology represents career, business, your social, your professional reputation. So this could be the time of a major promotion, taking some big risks with initiating important new business projects. Could be getting a lot of recognition by you taking big risks. Scorpio, it's in your 9th as Cancer, Mars in Cancer's 9 signs past Scorpio. So what is the 9th? Could be getting more education, realizing why you're blocked is you need more training, another degree. Or the 9th house could be marketing, publishing, advertising. Maybe that's where you're realizing, I got to really push through the promotion and marketing. And the 9th house could also be dealing with legal matters. But this is where with the Grand Trine, if you don't give up and keep asserting your rights of Mars, you can win, but could be very stressful. Sagittarius, it's in your 8th house of finance and joint ventures and grants and settlements and taxes and insurance. That's on a mundane financial level. Could be lots of disputes, a lot of intense arguments with negotiations, with financial matters. Don't give up. It can break through. But the 8th house has a psychological side. And this could also, that what is happening in your life could really be stirring up a lot of old patterns, childhood patterns that you could start addressing and releasing. Capricorn Cancer, Mars in Cancer. Cancer is opposite Capricorn. Opposite deals with the significant other. We usually think of marriage, but also all kinds of partnerships, close relationships. With the Mars as the apex, there could be a big blow up to clear the air, to get even closer and more of a reconciliation with all kinds of partnerships. Aquarius, it's in your 6th house. I look at the 6th house as two big areas where there's going to be a lot of motivation and drive with work. The 6th house is work and health. With work, you could be getting a new job, launching new work projects, getting more work, learning more work skills. There might be some conflicts and tensions with coworkers. And also maybe triggering you to want to just stop being a coworker and do your own thing. With health, you could be incredibly stressed out. That's really hurting the body. But the positive is it can if you channel all that stress through exercise, and then get the stress out of the body and become stronger and actually maybe more stress-free to some degree. And Pisces, it's in the 5th house. Children, romance, in business, deals with gambling and speculation and investing. The 5th house is the sector of creative expression. It's also babies. We create babies. Babies are playful. This is the area of life where we can, create, be playful. That includes sports. It includes fun and games and romance. So it's a very pleasurable area of the chart. But where you might be stuck, that Mars can break through. And with the Mars in harmony with the Venus, the whole grand trine, there's such a great opportunity if you stay focused and not give up in finding some win-win situation for reconciliation, for a diplomatic outcome. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next time, be safe and well.